Today, I want to talk about the power of joining a Zillow Flex team. These are for agents who are looking to join a team, looking for an opportunity where a team that provides leads, buyers or seller leads, have amazing training and coaching and support. So today I want to discuss what it's like or the benefits of joining a Zillow Flex team, how you can grow more, close more, not have to stress about some things if you are independent. And because of these high intent buyers, mostly buyers from Zillow's portal, agents who join a Zillow Flex team grow so much faster in the learning curve, especially if they're new agents or shorter. So I want to talk about that. So a little bit about me. My name is Coach Ron. A lot of people call me that. Full name Ron Hutcheson. I was a former Zillow Flex growth advisor, worked at Zillow for about 4 years. And basically, my role was helping launch the Zillow Flex when they started out and to help these teams scale and grow with the Zillow Flex program. And so I had knowledge on the inside of how the whole program. I had an opportunity to do several projects working with Zillow, helping them to develop a minority broker program where in certain parts of the market where there were not a lot of coverage for certain zips, and we were able to bring in some brokers to handle those zips, and they had a lot of success with that. Definitely helped a lot of teams to grow and scale with the program. Some teams scale to additional markets because of Zillow Flex leads. And they were able to bring on a lot of agents who were not necessarily had a lot of experience. And so we want to talk about that in the program today. And so over that time, these teams converted billions and billions of dollars of production, those leads. And most of those agents made a six-figure income for the first time in their, business career. And so I decided to leave Zillow after working 4 years because I saw a niche in the market where a lot of small to mid-sized teams who had the Flex program, which a lot of teams who are in this program were invited. Most of those teams were on the other side of Zillow's division, which is buying leads. And now they were invited to interview to be part of the Flex program, where this program, if you don't know about Flex, these leads you can pay at the success of a closing, right? And so you don't have to pay up front, you pay at the end, and there's a fee that the teams and the agents pay once the transaction is successful. And so a lot of these teams are looking for help when it comes to implementing and making sure that the Flex program is successful, because Zillow is very, very in tune or involved in the process, and they're holding these teams and agents accountable to the process, because obviously it makes sense. I mean, Zillow's looking to make money from these closings. They don't get paid to the team closes, so they want to make sure that if they're giving the right team these leads and partnering with this team so that they can make revenue from this as well. So these teams are, as they convert more of these leads, these teams are looking for more agents to add to their team. Or B, some of these teams' agents are not performing as the team leader thought they would. They're not meeting Zillow standards. And so what happens is that team leaders are looking for another agent to bring to the team. So a lot of agents in the market are not aware of that opportunity. And so I want to share with you today pretty much how it all works, right? So you can kind of get an idea. So if you are looking to be part of a team that provides Zillow leads, so Zillow Flex leads, what that looks like. All right, so before we go there, let's just talk about what the current state of your real estate business is. If you're just getting started, if you've been in business for a while, you're just really scraping by, or maybe you're doing it part-time. You just, you're working another job because your real estate career is not to the point where it could sustain you financially. Or maybe you're doing good. You're saying, hey, I kind of got this thing down, and I've got a business that kind of feeds me, which is good. You're doing okay. You're making a living. Or you could be booming. You could be a top agent in your market. So just want to know what the current state of your business is. If you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just put into the chat, what number are you? All right. So we're going to talk today about why realtors fail. Before I get into why I think being part of a Zillow Flex team is a benefit, let's just talk about the reasons why most real estate agents fail. Number one, the biggest thing that I found over the years is most agents who took their real estate license did not know anything about marketing in building their business, marketing to, acquire clients or customers. And so lead generation was not taught. And so the misconception that they're going to get their license and business is just going to come to them is sadly mistaken that that's not the fact. So, okay, so what do you do at this point? So it's like, hey, how do I get customers? You kind of go through all your circle of influence. And now you're like, what do I do now? So a lot of agents are either pay for leads. There's a lot of advertisement out there about, use us to buy leads and we'll help you, et cetera, et cetera. So most realtors don't have the finances to buy leads. And so they're kind of stuck, right? Because these leads to conversations where you want to talk about buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And if you don't have, contacts, names, and numbers to have a conversation with, you're not building anything. You're not building a pipeline of business where you could kind of take your business to the next level. So conversations from these leads are very, very critical to any business. And that's one of the reasons why I would say most real estate agents fail. The second reason is the follow-up, or I would say just learning how to build a database. Again, most real estate agents are not marketing professionals or database managers or learning all the tech that goes along with doing follow-up. That's another skill in the business that they have to learn, and they don't have that skill set. So what skills does it take to grow a database? What skills does it take to build a pipeline, maintain a pipeline, follow up with that pipeline, build campaigns, et cetera, et cetera? So what tends to happen is that, they start to build this list, and a lot of leads kind of fall through the cracks. So lead following up and building a database and knowing what tech stack to use and having the money to do that as well is a challenge of most agents. The third reason is converting the leads. So when you get the customer, have the conversation, do you know exactly what you're doing in that process? So is someone who has experience teaching you what to do, a mentor, a coach, a guide, walking you through the contracts, walking you through submitting offers, maybe teaching you how to talk to the customer on the phone when you initially get started, how to do a tour, like every part of the real estate business as you're moving it down the funnel. The real estate agent who is learning the business is someone there to mentor you. So these three phases, a lead manager, which you would have to be in your business, you have to be the database manager, and then you have to act as a sales manager, mentoring and coaching yourself in these three phases of the business. And it's a lot, it's a lot, especially for a new agent who is wanting to learn the business. So the next one I want to go over is the vendor partnerships. So in addition to being the lead manager, like I mentioned, growing the database, all these contacts going into those from all the lead sources that you're doing, running yourself as a sales manager and doing the real estate, working with the client, moving that client from, purchasing a property or helping them to list their property. You have to learn all the things about that real estate transaction. And all of these outside services that you have to coordinate with them, the mortgage, the title, the lawyer, like the inspection. And so do you have those partnerships in place, or do you have, partnerships that have experience and that give exceptional service to these to your customers? And so you got to build those relationships as well. And so it takes a lot, and not to say that agents can't do it, but sometimes, just working with someone who's figured all of that out is a huge benefit for agents when they're doing it. And so this is why, one of the things that I see that hurts a lot of people is this inconsistent conversations, because they don't have a lot of leads coming in. Their conversations are inconsistent, meaning that the first conversation of talking to someone about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, it's one a month or one every other month, and that whole inconsistent conversation. And so what happens is that they don't, their income is inconsistent. And so that's the biggest challenge. It all starts here, with the leads coming in, getting in consistent conversation so you can build a database, build your pipeline, get that customer across the finish line with amazing service, right? And so joining a flex team is probably one of the best investments that an agent can make, because what it does is most of these teams who have been vetted by Zillow to get their leads, you got to think about it. Zillow wants to earn income as well. So those, again, just kind of recap what Zillow Flex is. It's a program that teams are invited to. Zillow will give them these leads from clients who are on their portal, who are looking to either buy or sell their home. Majority of them are buyers. And Zillow says, hey, we'll give you these leads up front at no cost, but we're going to take a success fee or referral fee on the back end, right? So they're investing in these teams. And so they want to make sure that they have amazing leadership, operational rigor, great agents that can service these clients. They have, just systems in place. So these teams have been already vetted, right? And so if you're looking to join a team that has these leads, and if you ever did anything with online leads, when it comes to the highest converting leads out there, I haven't found any other lead source that are online lead sources that convert higher than Zillow leads, right? And so you're talking about an agent getting a lead, and most of the time these teams bring on a new agent because they're expanding their business or growing their business, because every time they convert well with Zillow gives them more leads. That's how the program works. So they're looking for more agents. And these agents are converting these leads, especially new agents who join the team, within their first 30 to 45 days. That is incredible to build confidence, for agents to shorten the learning curve about the business, taking it all the way from A to Z multiple times. So imagine doing that within 30 to 45 days. And then the next 30 to 45 days, you got another one and another one. Your confidence is going to go through the roof, right? That's amazing. And so what I want to do is I want to break down a little bit more about how the inner workings of some of these flex teams. So when you're joining a flex team, and some of these teams get from anywhere from 40 leads a month all the way up to 100, 200, 300, 1,000, leads a month. and they have an opportunity to route you these leads once you join the team. So you can get as little as 5 and as many as 10 or more, right? And what happens is client goes on the portal, they're interested in a lead, in a home, and they click the button on Zillow, say they want to talk to an agent, and that agent, you pick up the phone because that call is routed live to an agent, and you're talking to the customer, right? Who was just looking at a home and spending hours and hours on Zillow's site, getting excited about, the properties that they're looking at. And now you get on the phone and they want to go see the property right away, right? That is, and you're talking to them about what they're looking for, their why, their motivation, the characteristics that they're looking for the home. So like, imagine that you're having a conversation about talking to someone who is actually looking for a home. Now, I'm not going to say all of them are like, ready right away, but where else are you going to get these conversations to talk to someone, that fast? And so, so the average connections that most agents get that I see on teams are between 5 and 10, right? And that's pretty much on the average. And you'll be busy, trust me. You'll be busy, with these leads. So you go, see the customer at the house. You're talking to the, to customer, and the goal is to get that customer to work with you as their agent moving forward. Now that person's in your pipeline, And so if you think about over time, if you're getting 10 connections a month, right, you're talking about building a pipeline of 100 plus names and numbers in your pipeline in a year versus, you're doing your whole SOI thing and they're not even ready yet, right? You got 100 family friends, and they're probably not even ready yet, right? And so that's the kind of the benefit of that, and you don't have to spend money up front doing that, right? So that's the exciting thing about that. So if you look at the true cost of leads, right? The true cost of leads right now is, because remember, Zillow still have their they call it market-based pricing in certain markets, right? And if you were to buy these leads in those, especially the high markets, you're talking about $1,000 per lead. So if you're getting 5 to 10 leads, right, per on that team, you're talking about Zillow investing, or that team is investing in you with the leads that they're partnered with Zillow with, $5,000 to $10,000 a month in leads. Now, if you are buying them, again, you're paying that out of pocket up front, right? And some agents are paying that for Zillow leads that are not on the Flex team. They're in the market-based pricing where you're buying leads. They're paying that, if not more, right? And so this gives you an opportunity to not have to shell out, money up front where you're doing that. And so that's an opportunity as well too. Now, if you join a team, right, what I want to talk about is the splits. And this is where a lot of agents go, man, this is not good. So, but you got to really think about it. First of all, Zillow takes 40% off the top, right? Between 35 to 40%, depending on the price point of the house. So you're taking that off. Then if you join a team that is under a brokerage, some teams charge anywhere between, some team leaders don't charge anything. Some charge 50% off of that Zillow. So think about it. Zillow takes 40, they take 40 or 50. And then if they're part of a brokerage, that broker still gets their 80-20 split. Or if you join a Flex team that is already at the broker level, right? Sometimes they just take the broker split, 80-20 split, or if maybe more, right? They might do 70-30 or 60-40. And that's the only split that you do with the broker. So again, if you're talking to a team leader or you're talking to a broker that has a flex account, now you kind of know there's two splits or it could be one, right? And then some teams start extra fees. I'm just talking about on average, right? On average, so you can get an idea. Now, I chalk that up to the cost of doing business or the cost of doing training. Like, where are you going to learn and get these high intent buyers and sellers to learn real estate fast, build a pipeline, get referrals from those pipeline? Because one of the good things about the Zillow Flex program, if you got a lead in and you help that client buy a home and they refer you to their brother, sister, parents, friends, co-workers, church member, whoever, you don't have to pay the 40% on that Zillow lead. You only pay if that client buys within the next 2 years or sells within the next 2 years. You still have to pay that 40%. But this is an opportunity for you guys to build a pipeline at no upfront cost. Think about it. You're building a pipeline that can pay you in the future for no upfront costs. So that's a great, great opportunity. So what would you rather have? A high split with no pipeline that you got to still build yourself with your time and your energy and your money and don't know if these lead sources work, or if you're paying a higher split, slightly a lower split, you're getting connections on a daily basis. You're getting coaching, you're getting admin support. These teams are locked in, guys. I'm telling you, when it comes to there. So you're building a pipeline with all this infrastructure around you. So most agents decide, hey, you know what, especially if I'm new and I want to learn the business, join the Flex team and have a lot of success. So, let's connect, guys. So if you want to know more about what, who you can talk to, et cetera, get with my team. There's some information that they'll send you to connect with us, and we'll chat with you and see a little bit about your background, where you are, and we'll let you know the flex teams in your area that you could be a part of. You could possibly get an interview with. Now, we don't make any guarantees because we're not the team leaders. We're the coaching part arm of the team, and these teams are looking to grow and expand, and we want to provide them with some prospects that could potentially join the team. And reach out to me, connect with me on social media, or reach out to my team. They'll have information here where you can reach out to them and set a meeting up with us, and we'll talk to you, see if you're a good fit that we can send you over to these teams. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Nice chatting with you.